Good morning. In this session, you will talk about the mining the sequence data. Here, the mining the sequence data, spatial data, text data, multimedia data, web data, or call it as a complex data. Previously, we discussed about the how to mine the different types of simple data types. For example, transactional data type. For example, ordinary tables. That means there is a way is there here mining the time series data, sequence data. That's called here sequence data here. Here, what is the motivation in this case? Here is a the data may be structured data. Structured data, for example, log files, XML files. This type of data I call it as a structured data. And then spatial data, maps, map related, space related data, temporal data, and then hypertext and media data, multimedia data, hypertext web pages data, and then multimedia, for example, video files, audio files, such kind of data. Here you are collecting that such kind of data from the World Wide Web. Here the important task in this data mining is to minimize, that means complex the mining the complex data type. That means how can you mine the complex data type, extracting the some interesting pattern from these complex data types. The complex data type I already discussed, the complex data type, that is a main intention. Here mining the stream data, one is a complex data. Here, in the mining, the stream data is a flow in and flow out of a computer system continuously with varying update. That's called here streaming data. That is a the flow. That means the computer continuously going on, and then mining the time series data. The time series data in the sense, for example, monthly sales of employee, monthly sales, yearly sales, and then like that, the time series. The database consists of sequence of values and event changing with the time. Sequence of values and events changing with the time is, that means you can measure at equal intervals. Equal intervals may be hourly basis, monthly basis. That is a time series data. This is one of the complex data type. And then mining the sequence pattern in mining data. Sequence patterns. Mining of frequently occurred ordered event or sequences. Frequent patterns. Frequent for some of the events occurred frequently. For example, buying the milk, buying the bread, automatically buying the milk. That's called here for some of the patterns. That means some of the patterns occurs sequentially, ordered events or subsequences. Those are all called as a mining. That means biological sequences here. Here, biological sequences compares, aligns, and indexes and analyze the biological sequences. That means it may be nucleotides and amino acids. Here, that means the sequences may be nucleotides. That type of is also a complex data type. And then mining the data stream, and then mining the time series, and then sequence pattern. Here, these are all some of the example algorithms for the sequence pattern. Here, the generalized sequence pattern, sequential pattern discovery using the equivalent cases, and then biological sequences. One example here is a basic local alignment search tool is the one of the most popular tool in a biological sequence. And then coming to the some of the applications, some of the time series information. How can you mine this one? Here, these are all different complex data mining techniques. The mining the stream, time series, and sequence data. Here, coming to the mining the sequence data. Sequence data consists of the itself time series data, symbolic sequences, biological sequences. This sequence data consists of biological sequences. These are all sequence data. Here, first important one is mining the time series data. Time series data. What is exactly time series data? It's based on a monthly basis, yearly basis. Here, the time series database consists of sequence of values. Here, particular sequence of values. For example, the number of airlines. in the year, and then in the 2025 it's may be ranging. Year consists of sequence of values or events obtained over the repeated measurement of time. Here obtained over the repeated measurement of time is called here time series data. That means you will have the sequence of values. For example, in the year, it's having the zero value. In the year 2000, it's having the 10. Some of the sequence value. And year 2020, like that, it's having the sequence have the values. That's called here time series data. That means how can you measure these values here? You will measure these values equal time intervals based on the equal time intervals. Here in this example, hourly based, not yearly based. That means sometimes you will calculate um, the sales in a company by hourly basis or weekly basis or daily basis. Also you will identify the sales of this particular company. That is a time series data. And then coming to the next important one, the time series data is a sequence database. It is a sequence, and then data is recorded at a regular interval, and then and characteristic time series components are trend, cyclic, seasonal, irregular. Trend in the sense long term characteristics. These are all time series component. Long term, cyclic, seasonal. That means long term in the sense continue in the long term. For example, now year 2020, next 2030, particular long term period you are taking. And then cyclic. Cyclic in the sense it's a continue. The cyclic in the sense the first starting from one place and then comes to the again to that place. That's called here cyclic. Os- Oscillators. And then seasonal, for example summer, winter. Other season here is a rainy season, again summer, winter, rainy season. That means that's a seasonal. Irregular. These are all some applications of this time series. Stock market analysis. That means in the stock market analysis you will predict the um, prices. That is economic and sales forecasting. And then cardiogram analysis and observation of weather phenomena. Here these are all some of the applications of time series analysis. And then the trend analysis, these are all time series data into following trends: long term movements, and then cyclic movement, seasonal movement. The seasonal movements are symbolic or calendar related. Irregular movement due to the random or random or chance event. That means the random movement you will identify this number of events. The next important one, that these are all used in some financial, how can you industry, scientific and the time series analysis consists of trend analysis, similarity sets in a time series analysis. First, trend analysis. What is the trend analysis? It consists of the trend consists of long-term movements, cyclic movements or cyclic variation, seasonal movement, seasonal variation, and then irregular or random movements. Here, the similarity search, the data reduction and transformation techniques, and then indexing methods for the similarity search, and then similarity search methods. These are some of the similarity search time series analysis. And then coming to the first one, trend analysis components. What are the trend analysis components? First one is the long-term movements or trend movement. Here, the long-term movements in the sense moving over the long interval of time, 10 years, 20 years. Here, the general direction in which a time series moving over a long period of time. That is a long-term movement. And then coming to the cyclic movement, these are also a long-term movement. Oscillations, that means oscillation about the trend line or curve, just like a oscillation. That means continuously it's a oscillating the system. That's called here cyclic movements. And then for example, business cycles may or may not the periodic. And then seasonal movement. summer, winter, and then again rainy season. These are all seasonal movement. It almost identical patterns that a time series appears to follow that during the corresponding month of a successive years. For example, in the June, May, June, July, it's a summer season. That means in the particular based on a month, corresponding month, successive year, it appears. Those are all called as a seasonal movements. And then coming to the next one, irregular movement here. It it changes that occur randomly due to the unplanned event. That means because of unplanned event here, it happens. These are all. This is a trend analysis in time series. We have best example the population. That means based on any trend. That means long term. You are taking anything here. The airlines in the year like this. That means in the next year. That's called here long term movement. Next year, what happened? Next year, what happened? That is a trend analysis. Here coming to the time series analysis, divided or that means decomposition of time series into different basic movement. These four movement. Additive model. Here, the additive model in the sense T plus C plus seasonal movements plus irregular movement. All are you are calculating. Trend movements plus cyclic movement plus seasonal movements plus this one. That's called here additive model. And then multiplicative model here. Trend analysis. Trend movements into cyclic movements into seasonal movements into irregular movements. And then this is a, for example, all electronic stock, 10 days moving average, the time series analysis like this. In this case, I'm taking the in the x-axis time value. That means for the day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4 up to 10 days. And then for the price, that means in the day 5, the price increased top level, and then day one it's the price of the electronic stock zero, and then after the day 6 it's reduced. Day at the time day 10 it's goes to the bottom level. That means it is a time series analysis for the all electronic company stock. Here moving the average of order here based on this one, it eliminated the cyclic, seasonal and irregular movement, and then losses the data at the beginning end of the series, and then it is a sensitive to the outlier. That means can be reduced by weighted moving average. That means we can reduce the outlier and outlier. Outlier in the sense it is an object that is not in a particular cluster. It is outside the cluster. That's called here outlier. Some of the other methods for estimating the trend curve. What are the methods here? Freehand method. Other one is a least square method. Here, what is a freehand? That means not giving any information. I'm telling you something about the freehand only. Simple information. Here, fit the curve by looking at the graph. But means you will fit the curve, the costly and barely reliable for the large scale data mining. Your least square method. Here, what is the least square method? In the mathematics, you identify the least square method. Sum of squares of deviation of a point. That means it is the find the curve minimizing the sum of squares of deviation. Here, sum of the squares of deviation at a point on a curve from corresponding data points. That's called here least square method. Always minimizing the sum of square. That means sum of the squares of deviation doesn't it indicates the error value. If you identify the particular error value, that means you have to minimizing that error. Only the basic criteria you are following here. And then similarity sets in a time series analysis. Here what are the random and transformation techniques here? Already you discussed attribute subset selection. Here for the attribute subset selection, you have a forward, backward, and then that means you are among the attributes here. The forward method shows that first selecting the important attributes from the important attribute, next important attribute. That is a thing. Other one is a dimensionality numerosity reduction, reducing the number of attributes. If some of the attributes are not good, you have to eliminate the those attributes. That means for if you have a so many dimensionality reduction techniques are there, PCA, like that. Some techniques we previously discussed, dimensionality reduction techniques. Pre-processing, data pre-processing. And then coming to the indexing methods for the similarity search. Here R tree, just like a R tree appear in the right hand diagram shows the R tree value. Here in this case you have a E and then box is there. That means it is called here R tree, R star tree, and the extraction of knowledge from the databases. Here all our information represent a searching the similarity. Here for searching for the similar, this diagram indicates the artery, the symbolic diagram. And then another important one in the similarity, Euclidean distance. If for example, Euclidean distance in the sense, here you have to calculate, for example, 2 points are there. For example, x1, x2, y1, x2, y2. Here, how can you find out the Euclidean distance between these 2 points here? Square root of x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. It's a Euclidean distance. This is a also used in a similarity search. At the time of clustering, that means in the K-means algorithm, you identify the Euclidean search for identifying the similarity between two objects based on a similarity. For example, one object similar to another object. Based on the Euclidean distance, you identify the similarity in the clustering analysis. And then the query language for the time series to handle the sophisticated queries, different queries, and then shape definition language. Here you are using some of the query languages, identify the similarity search. Similarity search means query in the sense you will identify, for example, select star from EMP where salary greater than 500 or 5000. Here greater than 5000. That means you will retrieve in the similarity search. You will retrieve the salary greater than 5. It will retrieve the employee salary greater. For that one, query language for the time series analysis also helpful. And then some of the applications for this one. Okay, this is a something about the time series analysis. Here, next important one. Next, we will discuss about the symbolic sequences.